They had a set of eyes, like it, because it almost looked like they had on like a those old plane goggles that
Hey,
like
hey,
the old.
have you remember seeing the Pixar movie Wally?
Uh-huh.
So it's like the little robot that was Wally. It kind of looked like it was his
Yeah.
eyes a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but it was awesome, and I didn't know what it was, so I'm glad you stopped in today because I was definitely curious about it, and I didn't have a chance to, ask about it, and then I seen the thing on the space on Twitter today about the spaces on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I was like, maybe I'll just pop in and I'll get a heads up, but always good to have you come by and give me the rundown. That way I can focus on other things throughout the day.
Hey guys, sorry about the waiting so long to say hello, but I was just getting everything set up so we can kind of do a little bit of a recording of the space. So, yeah,
Oh, good, brother, man. How you doing?
good. I had to get a blood test today, just check up, nothing abnormal or nothing, but had to get all that fun stuff. And you even do the little early check in the line thing where you're supposed to get there and get right in, and then you're sitting in there for another 20, 30 minutes to get into the appointment. It's just stupid.
Oh, wow, man. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're all right though.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm not worried about anything. It's just I'm getting at that age. I'm 40 now, so they really start bugging you at this age.
Oh man, they might give you a old slip up the Hemi.
Yeah, the full meal deal.
Oh man, so we had Sheik, Sheik. I think that's what it says.
Yeah,
You have something to
chic.
talk about today?
You
Maybe,
can
maybe not.
you can speak chic if you can. If you're on cell phone, if you're on computer, it might not work for you. So it doesn't look like it's working.
Hey, Bobby, you mind if I share my little my brochures I made real quick on top of the
No,
pens?
man, share them. I want to see them, bro. I want to see them, man. Hey, man, I'm always here to support.
Hey Jake, I
You know the
invited
mark.
you up. I believe I haven't seen you
Hey
come up
guys,
yet.
Hey, what's up, Jake?
There you go.
hey guys, how you doing? So,
Good.
I saw the title, thought it was pretty interesting. Thought I would do a quick share and maybe bring the conversation to either back to where it was or maybe bring it forward. I guess you could say in a sense. But
Definitely.
my personal goals in crypto is to obviously move the space forward. I think there's a lot of amazing innovators and a lot of amazing technology in the space, and my goals are to really bring the technology forward and innovate to the space where we could create social impact. So that's my personal goals with crypto, and obviously the steps I'm taking is building out technology that I find valuable in the space, as well as working with other devs that I think are doing positive things in the Web3 space that can help bring the technology to the forefront in ways that are a little bit more socially impactful. So yeah, those are my goals for crypto, and those are some of the steps. And I would love to hear what other people are doing as well, just outside of day trading and making profits, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would say the one thing, like I'm on the marketing side for BigONE, so I do the Twitter and all that stuff. And one of the biggest things I guess that I'm pushing for right now is that feeling of community between crypto projects and positivity and just keeping it real. Like there's so much hate, or there was so much hate last year. I think it's got a lot better where there's not that infighting in between projects. I know we're never going to fully make it disappear, but I think like what you're saying, Jake, is a perfect example of what we should do is work together as long as you're making a positive change or creating something better. I think there's no reason why we can't all work together in the end.
Yeah, and I just think that we haven't really found a great way to bring Web3 and a lot of the technology that we've built and developed here into the mainstream, right? Like, we talk about core banking solutions, even. Just, I'll use an industry that I'm familiar with just from working in fintech. So, I've worked with a lot of companies that have built amazing things, but they can't seem to find a way to translate it or bring it in or find a way to foster, like, market traction. So, people are building amazing things and people are doing amazing things in the space, but, like, at the same time, how many different protocols can we have, right? How many different companies can we have that are doing the same exact thing? So, I think it's, my personal goals in crypto have been obviously to advance the space in ways that, make it a little bit easier for someone who's not necessarily involved on a day-to-day for them to take advantage of blockchain and understand how these services can sort of avail them. So, I think it's really important for the space to sort of move forward in that direction. But, whether you're in marketing or whether you're building deving or, whether you're involved just as a trader, right? Like we all share sort of the same goal. And so I think that's a pretty interesting, future way for Web3.
Can I ask what I just was looking at your Twitter, like the projects that you're involved in? Can you tell us all a little bit about it, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. So, hey guys, my name is Jake Seltzer. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Finance Blocks. We are a platform as a solution service to digitize rural financial institutions and emerging markets using blockchain technology. So the reason that we found and use blockchain technology is because the service.
Oh, your mic might have cut out.
Yeah, sorry, I received a phone call, but our services are incorruptible via the blockchain as well. So we just felt that blockchain technology was best used for this use case. So yes, essentially what we do is we help to bring digital services to emerging markets. So a lot of these banks and a lot of these rural financial institutions, so whether that be cooperative societies or agricultural sectors or just different actual credit unions, right, that exist in these places, a lot of them are either using old legacy systems, so like Excel spreadsheets, or they're using paperback systems. So one of the things that we really wanted to focus on was bringing digital services to these people. So we saw a huge need during COVID time when a lot of these users who had free government appointed cell phones couldn't avail, services to them. And so I spent about a month in India going over with a lot of these institutions some of the pain points that they faced, as well as my co-founder is also based in India as well, so he spends a lot of time on the ground. And so we developed a system and a platform that helped bring digital services to these users. So we went through every problem from, not being able to read, right? Like a lot of the user base is, lacks the ability of a formal education. And so we wanted to create videos and create a portfolio and a profile that would allow them to sort of take advantage of these services without really knowing how to read, right? So we've created videos translatable into 17 different languages. Our platform has a very simple UI interface because a lot of these people don't really understand how to navigate complex systems. So, we've spent a lot of time developing. I've been working on Finance Blocks for 3 years. I won Entrepreneur India's Startup FinTech Leader of the Year in 2021, a Forbes candidate for 30 under 30, as well for Asia Forbes for Finance Blocks. So that's the work we're doing there, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions or get into any specifics about sort of what we're doing there. And then also, I've been appointed to the Punks DAO board. I'm the first appointed member to the Punks DAO board. So Punks is a really amazing project with a really great team. They are partnered with Calyx Labs to do the Calyx Metaverse. So there's about 6 projects that are part of the Calyx Labs ecosystem. So you'll have access to all of the DAOs as part of being part of the Punks DAO. So pretty cool project. If you guys have some time, would definitely recommend checking it out. It's great team, great art, great use case, awesome utility. The DAO is pretty premier. Their tokenomics are pretty amazing. So if you guys have some time, would definitely go and check them out. But as part of being on the DAO board, I don't really want to be actively shilling the project just because that would kind of seem in a sense biased. So I don't want to shill too much, but just part of being on the Punks DAO board is kind of an honor. So yeah, that's my background and that's my story. And if anyone has any questions, would love to answer them.
Actually, Jake, we should get you on Blockcast someday to do a YouTube interview if you're up for it, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I do interviews all the time. I was actually in a space last night. Had about like 500 people in it and kind of turned into an AMA in a sense. So I was actually asked to do like my first YouTube show yesterday. So yeah, would definitely love it and would love to come on and talk about what we're doing and the social impact that we're having because, a lot of it, people just think that we're just a core banking solution, right? And all we're really doing is help bank the unbanked. But, it goes so much further than that, right? Like what we're doing has real on-the-ground utility in terms of affecting the suicide rate across rural and emerging markets, right? So 27% of deaths right now in emerging markets are actually due to financial stress and suicide. So we actually want to help make a difference in that number. And we believe that through our platform, we could actually lower those rates to about 11 to 12%. Just by offering better financial services, better access to credit, and better transparency and credibility from their actual institutions themselves. So doing some pretty amazing stuff in terms of actual social impact as well. We're a people over profits company. We actually reinvest a lot of our profits back into the communities that we help. So We work with companies like the Water Project to actually bring water wells to places like Madhya Pradesh, India, where we've actually made inroads with our platform. So we do some pretty cool stuff in terms of social impact, and we definitely value people over profit. So when I kind of saw the space of what is your personal goals, I always like to share that I'm obviously trying to move the Web3 space forward and promote utility amongst different projects who are trying to make a difference in the real world, right? Instead of just building technology and selling a token and rugging a community.
Yeah, which seems to be common nowadays. I'm gonna let Vibin or Gaining Enigma talk now. I keep on jumping on, so I'm gonna let them speak.
Yeah, man, I like what you're doing here, Jake. I mean, you came at it. You answered the question. You rang the bell, man, and what your goal is definitely a great goal to have. Is pushing the space forward, and I love the one thing I do love about crypto is that I got in here to make money. I think just like everybody else, right? And then after finding some success in that, it was like, what can I do in crypto to make crypto better? And one thing crypto allows us to do is be ourselves, right? And I call myself vibing. I just go out. I like to be around good energy. I like to be around good people and like-minded souls in a sense, right? So and being able to offer that within the space and making it better, whether it be introducing a new person into crypto or getting two projects to potentially meet up and discuss ideas or get developers in the same room with venture capitalists. That's if that's something that I can offer, then it's just like one of those things like, damn, I didn't even know I had that ability, right? And then all of a sudden it's like I'm able to do it. So that's just one of the things that I've been able to do in this space. I think my overall goal in crypto though is to just keep pushing myself in it. Like I said, finding some success in it. It's easy to become a trader or just flipper or whatever you want to call it, but it's so much better to be yourself in the space and really help push the space forward and get more people like yourself in the space or get more people like other people that in this space. So I like what you're doing in this space for sure. But yeah, that's my goals. And then everybody here knows me. Jake, you probably don't know me, but I've I got into crypto a while back. I used to only buy Bitcoin. I had really hated everything else. And then I kind of got introduced to the BSC network. Got introduced to Scott. Scott teamed up with Andy. Andy brought me on to BigONE. I do marketing. Community management. Do community management for BigONE, and then as well as for a couple other projects. But yeah, man, just that's what I like to do. Like to spread the good vibes. I like to be around good people, and just I love crypto. So now I'm everything, not just BTC.
Yeah,
I was saying, don't be afraid to show. When you have the opportunity to talk about your projects. I talk a lot. So you're probably not familiar with me yet. But if you see me in enough spaces, I do tend to talk a lot. But again, sometimes that's the thing that will bring people towards your project when they hear that energy. You might call it shilling, but it's to you. You're talking about something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
So shill away. Let people know, hey, this project is awesome. We have good, like Vibe said, we have good vibes. We're going to be promoting this. We're going to be doing that. Because people who are kind of boring, to be honest, like, oh, well, a project is like this. It's like, oh, they're lackluster there. And like, I don't really want to participate if you who's shilling the project isn't even excited about it. So like how you came over your spiel about it, it's, hey, it's interesting. It was cut and dry to the point. Understanding was completely there. There was no bumbling over your words. So it's like, things like that are always things that make people want to hop into different projects because if you have the energy, they want to know why you have such energy.
I always just feel bad because I feel like I'm hijacking the space, right? Like I come in and start chilling my project and the whole space kind of takes over, talking about my thing. So I always feel bad coming into a space that's not a space that I either set or host and kind of make it all about me sort of thing. But yeah, no, I mean, if you guys are cool with it, I'll definitely do a quick show, right? So, the Punks project is launching on Solanart is this specifically a crypto space or is this also NFT?
Yeah, man, go ahead. You're good, man. This you're
cool.
100% fine.
Cool. So, there's a project that I'm working with called Punks. They're an awesome team. They fully dox themselves. They do pretty big Twitter spaces. They were part of the Meta Helix team. They were part of the Rarity Sniper team. They were part of the Solanart team. So, we have the Teslio family coming into talk. So, we do a pretty huge Twitter space on Thursdays that usually has about like 400 or 500 members. It's probably like the big, I guess you could call them influencers or influential people who are leading the space in Solana NFTs. So that's a big event I typically do, and I'm working with this project called Punks. Punks is a 5,000 piece collection generative. There's a Punks 1 master collection, there's a Punks 2 master collection, and there's the Punks 3 where you kind of combine Punks 1 and Punks 2, and it gives you access to DAO voting and different tokens in terms of like you actually earn different tokens, not through play to earn, but just actually staking your actual NFT into the platform and being part of the DAO. So there's a lot of different really cool aspects to NFT projects, and I think one of the things that NFTs has done really well is find a way to take advantage of the DAO. So a lot of respect to the NFT community for sort of mastering how to make DAOs work and how to make them more effective than I think the crypto space has found a way to do it. So shout out to the NFT projects on that. But yeah, it's a really great project if you guys are into NFTs, especially Solana-based NFTs, and you want to get something that will probably pop off. They following the same method that OK Bears and Parakeets followed. So doing a strategic partnership listing and minting off of Solana, and then from Solana doing a direct listing with Magic Eden and both OpenSea. So you're accessing 3 of the largest markets, and you have access to the strongest whitelist page kind of in the space right now, especially with Solana. So shout out to the Punks group. I think they're doing some really awesome stuff. But again, I'm not really part of the main team there. I'm more just part of the DAO board and also helping them do some dev stuff on the metaverse land. So definitely shout out to them. They're doing some awesome stuff. And then I'll sort of give a quick shill to Finance Box, and if anybody has any questions, because I know it can kind of be sometimes a bit much. So if I'm ever too passionate, or if I ever need to stop and answer some questions, definitely feel free. But Finance Box is essentially a core banking solution. Right now, we're ranked 3,700, I believe, on CoinMarketCap. We are trading on MEXC as well as Probit Global. We're currently in talks with Crypto.com and Binance, as well as Gate.io about listing. Our next listing will be with Knightsbridge.
Well, I didn't hear BigONE on there, man. What's going on?
Yeah,
so we actually only launched our token about a month and a half ago. We've been building out this platform for 3.5 years. So we have our IEO, a premium launchpad IEO with Probit. We did about a $73,000 raise on our IEO within a 4-day period. We then launched after the IEO, went directly to market on Probit, and then after about a week, we went on to MEXC. MEXC was currently ranked 4th on CoinGecko at the time, so it was a top 5 listing for us within our first week of actually being on any centralized or decentralized exchanges. We've reached out to Binance. Binance requires a certain amount of daily trade volume, so we actually decided to go with Gate.io, who's basically a requisite partner of Binance, and we should be listing on Gate.io within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We are also in the process of listing on CoinSource so that we can offer futures with our actual token, so that you can stake on futures using your FBX token. And then also we're working with Knightsbridge, a new exchange out of Australia that was one of the biggest at Binance Dubai's conference. They are starting a new exchange, and we're kind of entering a strategic partnership with them for listing, but also have a strategic partnership with them for also staking and offering user benefits for sort of a promoted platform. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in terms of the token. And then again, current market traction. We're making huge inways in India, specifically Madhya Pradesh. We've also made inways in Nigeria. We're working with both governments of the Rural Finance Ministry of India as well as the Finance Ministry of Nigeria to help bring applicable change to their banking and financial systems. So that's kind of current market traction. We have 22,000 users who are actively using our app and platform, as well as we actually have around 100,000 users that have been directly onboarded, and we are continuing to work to bring those people onto our application.
Let's talk after this, Jake, like just through messages or whatever. Being the North American marketing lead for BigONE, I mean, it's something we can definitely maybe talk about and discuss and see what we might be able to come up with.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for giving me the floor and letting me shell. Sometimes I feel bad about it because I feel like I just totally hijacked the room, but thanks so much everyone for giving me the opportunity to share about what we're doing at Finance Box as well as what we're doing at Punk. So really
real quick before you head out, I did hear you say something earlier when you first hopped on, speaking on basically kind of a spill of banking for the unbanked, so to speak, and that does kind of bring me into the thought process of SafeMoon. And so in order to kind of dissuade people from putting that connection there, what would you say is what specifically sets your project apart from what SafeMoon initially came out the ballpark trying to do?
I give a lot of credit to SafeMoon in the fact of how they've built their community and how they've done their technology. But I mean, like, if you really want to look in the difference of SafeMoon and us, look at the market traction, right? Like, what has SafeMoon really done to help bank the unbanked, or what have they really done outside of maybe an American community offering the SafeMoon card and different things? Which, I mean, yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to speak poorly on the SafeMoon. I would never, speak negatively on another project. I think every project brings something amazing to the space, right? So don't misconstrue what I'm saying as any sort of slight against them. But in terms of like what has SafeMoon really done to help promote their product in emerging markets or to help promote their project in places outside of the US, which I mean, even in so I kind of find a bit odd. I mean, John won the CEO of the year for Utah for SafeMoon. Utah Entrepreneur of the Year. So I mean, they've done some pretty amazing things in terms of building community, but if you could fill me in on what they've been able to accomplish outside, I'm genuinely curious because I can't find any examples of it.
I can't
No,
either.
see, and that's exactly my question. Why I was asking because a lot of what SafeMoon has done, and again, like you said, not trying to talk negatively on any project or anything, but unfortunately, we have to be real in the space. A lot of talk has happened, a lot of things have happened, on the outskirts to show, hey, we've done donations, we created this charity, cards, wallets, and all this stuff. But again, what have you actually done to quote unquote, bank the banking for the unbanked, so to speak? So, I agree with you on, in the aspect. That's why I wanted to bring forth that question. That way, people wouldn't think that, oh, we have a, Safe Moon Part Two kind of going on with this, the project that you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you want to look at like a comparison to what we're trying to do, there was an Oracle program that Oracle released called Banking the Unbanked, and it was essentially their play to try to go after emerging markets with a core banking solution that they built. This happened about a year and a half ago when we were actually in the middle of developing our platform, and they failed tremendously. They failed to recognize and failed to understand the actual needs of the rural financial institutions. So something that I did was I was like, hey, it's really important for me to go to India, speak to these guys, and to understand, right? And so I have actually traveled to India. I'm going to be traveling to Nigeria soon. And I actually go to these banks and speak with them to understand what it is that they need from us, right? Like, if I don't truly understand the needs and the wants of the institutions that I'm trying to support and digitize, then I'm failing to do my job. And I think that's what a lot of these companies have failed, right? They toad out that they have this technology or they have the ability to do this or this is their mission, but they never actually go about doing anything, right? So, like, again, no slight against SafeMoon. I think they've done a tremendous job building community. I mean, if you look at their Twitter spaces, they have their community goes on and makes Twitter spaces where they just talk about SafeMoon and has hundreds of users. So, I mean, full props to them on what they were able to accomplishing from the marketing wise. But in terms of actual utility of their product and in terms of utility of their technology, I find it to be incredibly minimal. And I don't find it to be quite impactful the way that the community sort of totes it to be.
Big 100 on that one. Hey, Pulley, I seen you came up. I just wanted to say what's up, man. See how you were doing today.
Hi.
Hello.
What's up, man? Thanks for saying hello. I'm going to speak half my normal pace just to see what it does to the vibe.
Oh, man.
I'm going to take this shit down half speed.
Did you get a new
no.
mic?
No, man, I'm just screwing around.
Oh, I was like, what?
Everything was so serious in here, I was just trying to fuck it up.
That's good discussions. Great discussions. That's what I love about here.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
But I'm definitely here, man.
Always good to hear from you, brother.
Thanks.
Sorry, boys. Didn't mean to dampen the mood or make it all serious.
Oh, you didn't.
Sorry if I
You
killed
didn't
your
at all.
vibe here, boys.
No, that's just my energy. I play counterpoint. That's my deal.
Yeah, he's
Hello.
always
Nice
like
to meet you, Jay.
I like
Nice to meet you,
Pulley
man.
for that reason. Or our Crypto Pulse. He's always fun like that. He just comes in and changes the vibe sometimes, or does it just out of kind of shits and giggles. He's a good guy.
Yep. I've been hanging out and listening. I just didn't want to. The vibing threw me in the middle of the mix right there, so I thought I'd throw it up.
Hey, real quick question, I guess, in pertaining to goals and crypto and everything. What is everyone's thoughts as far as future investing in the crypto? Seeing how, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's May the 3rd through the 5th or something like that. It should be when we have should be expecting the Feds to release their new, increase rate. Is anybody worried about what's coming up next with that, or when it comes to the crypto?
I think I'll go first, I guess. I think they're not going to. The Fed's never rushed to make any decisions on monetary policies. So I don't think they're going to make a decision. I think they'll just keep pushing it out for a little bit longer and then try to smooth it all over. But I think in terms of investing, I think right now with a lot of fear in the market, is obviously not financial advice, but it's a good time to start paying attention about things that you really like and maybe accumulating and then watching for bottoms. But I think with the war still going on, I think it's a lot of like speculation on which way markets could go overall, not just crypto. It's a lot of things going on, and I mean, fucking Nike even went down yesterday. But even in the stock market, things are happening and crashing. So I think right now it's just one of those times where you can really sit back and if you have bread and butter or something that you do day to day that brings you financial gain, and possibly just sit back and educate yourself on some of the things that could be potentially coming about in the next 3 to 5 years. I think the things that you invest in today should be things that you reward yourself for in 3 to 5 years. I don't think a lot of people that get into the space. Obviously, we have friends that come in and get lucky and probably 100x on the first thing, and that's cool, right? But like I think when it comes to the education and everything that's behind while we're here, I think from the macro point, I think that what the Feds decide next month doesn't have anything to do with us in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I guess I'm not from the States, so I'm not worried about it. But the one thing I would have to say is they're watching what's happening in other places too. If you look at India with their regulation as of late, they were doing like a tax of 30%. It's really impacted the crypto market out there, and there's been a lot of people pulling back a bit, apparently, from what I understand. So hopefully the States looks at that and doesn't try and do the same thing as India did, and then we have that whole New York thing as well with VTC mining, which I mean, it seems like the news makes a bigger deal out of it than everybody else does. Like, I don't really care if New York doesn't allow mining. Like, how many other states in the United States or Canada or Europe or wherever else is opening to Bitcoin mining, right? Like, one state does not impact the whole world.
Me living in New York before, knowing how much the electric cost out there, nobody can afford to mine anyway. It's hard enough to afford your regular apartment electricity there.
Shit, I saw the mayor, I guess, is talking about starting a mining in Fort Worth, if I'm not mistaken. And, a lot of people are numbers about that.
Yeah, that's amazing. They actually started mining in Fort Worth. I did a post about it on BigONE yesterday where I posted the article where they're talking about them starting mining, which is cool. I seen J-Tunes came up. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I really have something to say. But what I was thinking is cryptocurrency is actually banned in my country. I'm from Nigeria, West Africa. But I'm thinking, what could be the issue? Like, what do you think we as a citizen of Nigeria, what can we do to remove the ban of cryptocurrency in our country? Like, if you have any idea, maybe you could share, or what we can work towards to just remove the ban of cryptocurrency in our country. Thanks.
Go ahead, Polly.
That's a good question. Like, how we all get caught up doing adoption discussions for like North America, Europe, and Asia and stuff like that. But how do you promote adoption in West Africa without literally knowing hardly anything about it? My first thought is you just got to make sure everyone has access to the technology. I assume that almost all access is mobile devices and mobile phones. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, no. What I'm trying to say is that our government literally banned the use of cryptocurrency in our country. Like, I don't really know the reason why. It just about 2 years ago right now, just released a memo from the federal government saying the cryptocurrency is banned and no citizen has access to buy directly. Either we buy peer to peer or face to face.
Sure.
Like, I'm trying to explain more so you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Sure. No, I understand that the government has cracked down on your access. So is the situation now that you only have access through like DeFi products like a Trust Wallet on a mobile phone? You don't have exchanges where you can on-ramp your money and stuff like that. They've taken that away from you, right?
Yeah. We can't really buy from debit card straight up. Like, you just need someone who is willing to buy and someone who is willing to sell so they can exchange their coin and their money. Like we can't really buy from bank or buy from credit card or debit card
Sure.
or anything linked to government.
So what I think some of what you're describing is would be solved by what's called a non KYC on ramp, right? Where you will be able to go particularly to a website that you access through your wallet or with your wallet, and then you would be able to, like you described, using a debit card or something like that, make a purchase where you're not required to identify yourself, or in a way where you're not required to what's called KYC, know your customer, with an exchange. There are products that I'm aware of that are working on this non KYC off ramp on ramp solution, but I have no idea how to point you in the right direction right now because it's such a fringe DeFi thing that I haven't even done it myself yet, so I wouldn't want to suggest it to anyone. But does that sound like kind of what you're looking for? Is a way to get money on and off without basically being seen?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say in particular, like I just need where we can buy from debit card as in, without any trace from government. Like
Yeah.
if government suggests you buy cryptocurrency, they're going to ban your account straight up.
Yep. So you need, what you're needing is like almost like a gift card that would allow you to buy without being identified through one of those on ramps. That's a super complex question. Does anybody else know anything about non KYC on ramp?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm really excited to be here as well. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Nigeria as well, in the northern part of Nigeria, and you can use Roku. There's an application called Raven where you can fund directly putting your money inside without any direct buying the cryptocurrency from your wallet or anything. You can use either Raven and then send the money to any exchanger that you want to buy your crypto. So that's the easiest way, and it's very, very easy to get access to that. And that's how I help a lot of people like this here. I hope this helps.
Does that
Does
help
that
you,
help?
J Tunes?
Does that help you, Jay?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you. It's
Yes,
just really
we can
quiet.
hear you.
Yeah, about the Roku stuff you talked about, like I understand. What I'm trying to say that issue is peer-to-peer transaction. Like, I mean, is there any solution as a form for us to unban
There,
the lift
Okay, sorry.
upon the cryptocurrency? Like, they totally ban the cryptocurrency that you can't buy any cryptocurrency from any company directly with your debit card if government sees any cases. As in, like, is there any solution? Anything you
Well,
can do just to leave the ban?
okay. Well, you can do it
And like
directly.
so we can buy from the debit card as
Okay, sorry. You can buy it directly using Raven. You can get it on Play Store. After you download Raven, you can directly buy with your debit card. You can fund the Raven account, then send the money to either Roku. Then you can send any USDT or any coin, anything that you want to buy, Binance, BNB, anything to any exchanger that you want to buy your cryptocurrency. That is easy. And the other question that you said, how can we get that banning out of Nigeria, like the bank to start operating using Bitcoin and using cryptocurrency that you can buy directly from your account? I guess the only thing we do is pray
exactly
and
that's what
just,
I'm talking about. Exactly.
yeah, the only thing I think we can is just pray for a good leadership. Like if this government don't want to do it, maybe the other government might. So 2023 is coming and it's a time for elections. So we just elect the person that we believe is going to do something good for us. I know that's the only thing I can say. I
Okay.
I believe this.
Thanks.
I think from what I
Yeah, I
understand in
understand you. That's what I'm
Nigeria,
trying
you
to say.
guys, sorry J Tunes, but from what I understand, the adoption is so high there as well that an election is going to make all the difference in the world for you guys, hopefully, because I mean these candidates need to be open to cryptocurrency to potentially get the votes that they need as well, I would assume. the boy, you came up here too. Do you want to say something or add to the conversation? And
Yeah, hello guys.
hey,
Um, I'm also from Nigeria.
I'm
Um,
saying nothing like
can you hear me?
I said
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah, we can
nothing
hear you.
like that's all.
We can hear you.
Yes. So I'm also from Nigeria, and the question that J Tones brought up really made me want to look into the whole conversation. The ban is something that is really tight over here. Means I can't even send money to JTunes with crypto in my remark. Both my account and J2's account will be banned immediately. Yes, and something that it's really serious here. And um, even with the government concerned right now, I'm still skeptical about the adoption of this because um, the current government or the current leaders that we have are not really open to are not willing to be open to um, adoption of new technologies that we have right now because they developed a tether for um, the currency naira, which they call e-naira, but they called it another alternative to naira, which they said it was cryptocurrency, but it has really nothing to do with cryptocurrency, and it's really a problem that's hindering a lot of projects that are DeFi based in Nigeria.
So is the solution only political then? I mean, that's a long-term solution, but it sounds like there's not an easy one.
Well, I believe there is hope because the other candidate I saw earlier, Atiku Abubakar, talk about cryptocurrency, and he said he's going
Long
to
term.
allow
Like I've already
the
tried
access.
it. It works well. Sure, it works well. But what I'm saying is that what apart from
Sorry,
I
you
think
cut out, Jay.
might be breaking up.
Yeah. You still there, Jay? J Tunes?
Yeah, what I'm thinking is all this is just politics, but there's nothing much. It's just politics to me. It's just politics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I feel um, if Nigeria can adopt um, cryptocurrency as another way to move forward, it's going to be a game changer for us, seriously, because we are so open to this idea of DeFi projects, NFTs, because I've got like a few of my friends that they all deal with NFTs. NFTs are they just came in as a way of them making a side hustle. It wasn't here before. About 2 3 years ago, I couldn't say there was a project like NFTs where people could take pictures that have memories and sell them to people. And I do feel that if we can eventually find a solution to this, it would really help us.
I was hoping Jake would come back up here because he's kind of doing an unbanking thing with his DAO. I invited him up as a speaker, but I don't know if he's personally going to Nigeria to speak to the governments and stuff there. So if Jake can come back up, I would appreciate it. Maybe he might be able to give some insight that we're unable to give to you guys, is what I'm hoping in the end. Especially if he's flying all the way to Nigeria. I mean, that's pretty amazing for him to go all that way to do that, right? So,
Well, we'll be definitely glad if that could happen because that thing is like, how am I going to say, letting most people, should I say, discouraging people on crypto like this, whereas you can't buy or you have to find some vendor online that some will even scam you. Or you can just send them money for them to send you some coin, and after they'll tell you blah blah blah. Some will block you. So maybe if you guys can do something about it, we'll be very glad and we'll be very happy because to me, I feel like this cryptocurrency NFT of a thing is a game changer, a life, real life game changer. And if eventually you guys can help us to get up to like set it up and make everything easy for us, we'll be very glad. We'll be very glad to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Pulley.
If JK, um, sorry, if JK is coming to Nigeria and he needs people to, follow up on, his mission here, we will be really glad to, provide assistance because it's something that a lot of youths have been waiting for. It's an opportunity that we are really taking serious over here in Nigeria.
It seems like when you're saying that you need a peer-to-peer system, I've heard some people that have been working on things like peer-to-peer transfers for similar reasons to what you're describing. That if you could provide a trustless non-KYC peer-to-peer system, I've heard of that being worked on, where you would be able to send basically your transfer to a smart contract in escrow. They would send theirs, and then they would both swap as a peer-to-peer. And again, I don't think it's in a place where anyone that I know has got one that would solve your problem right now. But I do know that trustless peer-to-peer is something I've heard mentioned as well.
Do you know what's amazing is I think like I'm so happy you guys are in here. In all honesty, I'm so happy you're up here talking, communicating. This is something that me and Vivan have talked about lots too as well, is the whole idea of unbanking and like crypto being important for other countries like Africa, India, Asia, places like that. That's where you're going to see the major adoption from. So you guys, like, kudos to you to come into Twitter space and talk and give your opinion. I just wanted you to know I truly appreciate you guys coming here, and if there's any way that we can support you, for sure, I'll try and research a little bit and see if there's something out there. I might message Jake and talk to him, so please make sure to add me up, and if I hear of anything or have discussions about anything, I'll definitely make sure to send to you guys. And I'm also going to suggest a couple different things and messages if you guys add me up onto Twitter. How's Vivan doing? You've got to take it easy a little bit today. You're probably busy.
Yeah, I was just listening to everybody's point of view. I mean, it's very interesting. You talk about banking to unbank. It's always like one of those conversations that nobody really has the solution to yet, right? I think one of the things that the guys was talking about was, even if they were doing peer-to-peer transactions and they went through purchasing, the government could still ban their accounts, right? And I think that's the one thing that as community and as community as a whole in crypto that we have to really get away from is sometimes when we think about where we want crypto to go, we have to keep pushing that peer-to-peer. We have to have that peer-to-peer without anybody telling us that this is an approved transaction. And I think that when it comes to things like that, it's one of those things that we're going to see regulation come. So it's kind of hard to say that we want peer-to-peer, but I think that we should still be working on that peer-to-peer solution as well.
There is a company out of Canada that I ran into recently, actually, after the Bitcoin conference. I was flying back. They're working on a decentralized system of like people that aren't able to cash out their cryptocurrency. They're willing to take it and give gift cards in exchange for that. I don't know if gift cards really work in Nigeria versus here, but that's, I know, one of the ways that they're going around becoming kind of decentralized versus putting your money in the bank or allowing other people to see it. I personally would have to learn a little bit more about that project, though. I'm still in touch with him, but I just haven't had the time to really discuss it with him.
For sure. I mean, we always got to, I think when it comes to, just tokens in general, in decentralization, you got ways around a lot of things, like you don't have to go through the major exchanges. They have a lot of dexes and things of that nature. But I thought it was interesting to hear, just wanting that peer to peer. Because I mean, that's what Bitcoin started off as, right? That's what we all went into Bitcoin
Yeah.
hoping for, was to have that peer to peer solution. And then it went from that to everybody started hodling Bitcoin, and then it became more of a store of value. So we kind of got away from the the uh, the peer to peer. I think Doge could make a good argument for it, but then again, how centralized is it versus decentralized? You can make an argument on both sides.
Can the Lightning networks kind of support that peer to peer, where these guys might be able to use a Lightning network, which is more decentralized, I believe?
Nah, that's actually way more centralized.
Is it way
and
more
Lightning
centralized?
Network
Yeah.
is not even.
Damn.
You're basically
Yeah.
using borrowed Bitcoin to make transactions happen.
Yeah, that doesn't work then. I was just wondering if there's a wallet of some kind out there that.
Safe Moon, man. No, stop.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But no, it's definitely a great conversation today, man. I like all the points everybody brought up today. It was very interesting. And it's good to hear everybody's goals. And it's and another good thing about talking about your goals, just in case you didn't get to come up and talk about your goals today. It's always good to talk about your goals so you really get to put it in motion. Like, talking about it's just the first step to making it happen. And then you got to provide some action to go with it. So I think it was very important to have this floor today, and have this space for everybody to come up. I definitely appreciate all the new people who came in today and talked about some of the things that you guys talked about, because that'll help us out and potentially let us do a space on a different day where we could actually bring in some people to talk a little bit more about this subject and what can really be done. So I definitely appreciate everybody being here.
Pulley, you can go ahead.
So some of you that have done these spaces with me know who I am already, but some of you might not know that I actually run a fitness business for a living, and I actually do goal setting for a living. So can I have like 2 minutes of your time for a second and do a little exercise with everybody in the room?
Okay, go ahead.
As long as I don't got to move up and down.
Not at all. This is a mental exercise, everybody. So if we're talking about setting personal goals in crypto, setting goals in crypto is no different than setting goals in fitness. So what we're going to do is I want you to think about a 12-month calendar, because everybody talks about goals, but nobody gets realistic. And when you set goals, goals need to be SMART. SMART is an acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time sensitive. So what we're going to work on is some of those things. Specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic. I want you to think about those, but we're going to work on time sensitive. So today I will. What am I going to do today? Well, that's an easy goal. You just pick something that you're going to do today, whether that's a crypto goal, a fitness goal, a personal betterment goal. What am I going to do today? Then this week I will. What am I going to do this week? Well, shit, that's 7 days. I can probably get something bigger done. So I'm going to set a goal for the week, write it down, measure it as the week gets closer. This month I will. All right, so I had this day, this week, now this month. So I've got 30 days to pull this off. So, if I'm going to do something for a week consistently, what am I going to do for a month? This year I will. What are you going to do in a year? Like, that's a huge amount of time. But if you don't set the small ones, you won't reach the big one. You need to stagger yourself out, because it's not about the big step. It's about every small step that leads to the big steps. It's the continuance and consistency that gets you the success that looks too large to reach at once. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, or some other stuff that I'm supposed to be able to say, or something like that. So when it comes to setting goals for crypto or fitness or business, there's your SMART goal acronym. Have a good day, everyone. And follow the Pulley account and check out the links, y'all.
Do you know what's funny?
I like that.
I talked about this a little bit over the last couple of days, and one of my biggest helpers of this, in a way, is Andy. He has done small, simple steps for me to work on myself and what I'm doing without me even really noticing it in the end. I didn't expect to learn as much as I have in the past year by just doing small, simple things with even Vibin or by myself or whatever. There's things that I've learned in this last little while that I didn't think maybe before I would have never thought I was capable of, because it's just that small, like what Pulley's saying, the small incremental step that you move forward with first, and then you move on to your longer goals as you're continuing on, right? But it's always moving in small ways, so it doesn't really how would you say it, not flood you, but you kind of get in a mindset that you can't do it, right? If you do it all at once and you try and take on so much, you're going to stress yourself out and make it almost impossible to accomplish what you're going to do.
Yeah, definitely never want to overwhelm yourself. I think that was the word you were looking for there. But yeah,
Yes,
take it
yes,
step
yes.
by step. Don't ever try to eat the whole pie at once. Step by step, man. But that is our time for today. We're probably going to be closing up here in 2 minutes, guys. Again, appreciate everybody coming by. Definitely was an interesting conversation today. I think we should probably jump a little bit more into that conversation maybe next week and invite the same people back as well as some other people that we know that we could potentially come up with, Scott, and have them debate or talk about that and share some good ideas.
Yeah, I think that would be a really great space, you guys, where hopefully you can come in next week. We'll pick a day. Just keep an eye on BigONE, and we'll post the topic up and hopefully get a few people up, and hopefully we can even convince some business minds to come in here. I mean, like Pulley or like Jake, that are willing to discuss this with them and see maybe what we can accomplish. But I agree, yeah, we're pretty darn close to closing the space for the day. It's at that hour mark, which I find is very productive, is that first hour. So
Yep, and I got some other videos I got to do today, and I'm wrapping up some things here with my guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I definitely want to say thank you again for everybody. If you just joined into our space today, we do hold these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock p.m. UTC. And then our next space is actually going to be on Friday. So we have Freestyle Fridays on Friday. So definitely it'll be a cool time to come out. If you know any projects that you guys are potentially in right now, that may want to talk to an exchange about a potential listing, have them come by on Friday. Fridays is our freestyle space. We like to hear about new projects, and we welcome them all to come in and at least tell us about what they have going on. So thank you guys for your time, and see you on the next one.
have an amazing time, you guys. We'll be talking very soon. So definitely add me up, add BigONE up. Let's get together. Let's talk. So Friday is even a great day for you guys to all come in. Feel free to come in, talk, communicate. That's what we're here for.